This video is part 2 on how to add rigging for this 3D character model inside of Blender. And I'm going to do some overview of what I've done so far using a Winston dog model, which what you're seeing right here. This is the rigging for the animation, and I'm just going to make sure all the controls are working and good to go, such as like full body controls and leg pulls, and make sure lock the locations of the tail and all the bone controls for this eyes and heads and necks are working properly. I'll go ahead and exit out from the pose mode to object. And I'm going to overview the 3D model on this character right here. So I'm going to select the 3D model, and I'm going to press G to move around. And once I change to edit mode and see, and this character is really low poly, which is good enough for doing a weight painting. This is something I'm going to do now. So I'm going to select the 3D model and then hold down Shift and select the armature. And once I selected both, I'm going to go to Object on the top left corner or over here and go down and select Parent and go ahead and select Parent with Automatic Weights. So I'm going to click this. So now this base 3D model is now parented to the armature. I'm going to I'm going to change the armature to Armature Winston. So make sure to save, and I'll go to pose mode and I'm going to preview. And it seems like the Blender's automatic weight parent is done really decent job. Everything looks pretty good. Just make sure to moving around the neck bones. And some of the parts on head, maybe some ear like this one, and you can see the automatic paint is not always to the perfect work. And same thing for the mouth. You see the head bones are a little more, there's warping like this. And I'm going to fix this by doing a weight painting on the object. So go change this to object mode and select the character mesh. And you see on the properties right here, it says vertex group. And these are all the armature bone parts that this mesh is weight painted. And I'm going to need a lot of the bone parts. Most of them are just the controls. So I'm going to select the armature and I'm going to show names. So it's going to tell you which bone parts are which bone part that I don't need to be included, such as the foot controls and all the another bone parts like a leg pull. So on the vertex group, on the right side here, I'm going to search for the unnecessary vertex point. I'm going to sort by name for just more easier navigate. And like a back foot control, delete both left and right, including pulls. Also for the eye tracks, I'm not going to need those. This both eye dot left and right eyes, I don't need this for this base mesh. On a down right here, I think I forgot to name this vertex group. I forgot to name the foot roll on the back here. So I'm going to go to pose mode and select this foot roll, and I'm gonna change the name. Footroll.l, and remove the numbers, and do the exact same thing. I just copy and paste, and just type R for the right part. And once I go to object mode, and you can see the name is automatically changed itself, that this mesh recognizes what this bone is. So now I can delete this. Here, front foot control, I don't need those. Foot roll, front foot roll, I don't need this too. And also the pull, global controls. And I think this is all I needed. And I'm going to start preview. And you see on the eye parts right there, after removing the vertex group, the eye left and right, this mesh is kind of doesn't know where these vertex points are going to be. So I'm gonna change to object mode, and I'm going to fix this by using a weight painting mode, weight painting on the head parts. So I'm gonna select the mesh and switch this to weight painting, not the vertex mode, weight painting in this one. Select this. So now you're in the weight painting mode. You can able to assign the vertex paint, assign the vertex points to these groups. You see the front foot is on this side, and the back foots are also on the foot bones. See, where's the head? And you can see the head vertex points have really less references. So for the better way to do it, I'm going to move the armature to position so I can see the missing vertex points. You see this parts here, so I'm gonna left the pose here. So I'm gonna left the pose as it is, like this. Oh, I pressed the wrong hotkeys, so I'm gonna press Control Tab, go back to the object mode, select this 3D mesh, and change this to weight paint. And before weight painting, I'm gonna enable the mirror on x-axis. And now, when I start painting, the more red the colors get red. So vertex points on the head parts is going to heavily influence. So I'm gonna weight painting on the top of the Winston's head, and I'm going to leave the ears. To leave the bottom mouth parts for weight painting on the jawbones. And I'm trying to carefully doing a weight painting on the ceiling of inside the mouth, which I also weight painted the tongue, but I'm going to show you how to disable that later. So after you're satisfied with all the weight painting, I'm going to go back to the edit mode, and I'm gonna select the tongue parts. And before I kind of made a mistake, so I forgot to apply the mirror modifier, so I'm gonna do this right now. just hit apply. Seems like everything looks good. So I'll go ahead and turn off the subsurface modifier, go to edit mode, and I'm going to select, so I'm going to select the tongues, and right now it's also applied on the head vertex groups. So I'm going to press Alt and select this vertex edge right here. Now it selected loop, the head loops, and all I'm doing is using a hold down control and pressing a numpad plus and minus to adjust the number of the faces. It looks pretty much fine. So I'll select the removed. Make sure the head vertex group is selected. And when I go back to the weight paint mode, and you can see the tongue does not have any weights on it. Everything looks much better. And I'm going to hold down the shift, and what this brush is gonna do is gonna smooth out all the weights on the face parts. And I selected the ear, and I'm going to turn this into a wireframe so I can see much clearer. And I'm holding down the control and start painting on the mesh, and it's going to reduce the weights on these vertices. And I'm removing all the parts that are weight painted on the face and just leaving the ear parts. Switch back to the solid view and change back to the object mode. And I'm gonna select the armature and changing the poses to preview, so I can preview the weights on these meshes, this 3D mesh. Make sure to remove the heads so you can see when I start rotating. The weights on the head bone looks perfectly fine. It looks good. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for rest of the bones here. And I'm not going to too much worry about the leg and the foot. Foots are like detaching to each other for a reason. So I'm gonna just move and rotate to preview all the weights on this mesh, this object. Weights on the foot leg, front and back leg looks fine. Maybe I'm gonna do some changes with the tail. Select the character object and find the. So while my so what this option did supposed to do is to mirror the weight paints, but it didn't seem like it happened. I'll eventually find a way to make a symmetrical weight painting later on. Let's see which part that I'm gonna do. Maybe on this die, gonna remove some of the weights near the body or body and hips, and hold down control to remove the parts, and holding down shift D to smooth the weights. And so currently the mirror, the symmetrical painting is not working right now. Let me see what's the the issues. So I'm selected this tool properties and go to symmetry. And here's the reason why. For some reason, the mirror vertex group is somehow disabled. So I'm gonna undo all the works that I did. There you go, all back to the way before. I'll select the mirror vertex groups and I start removing some weights and smooth out. Just change it to wireframe mode for much clear view. So now the left side is paint, and what happened is the left side weight painting is also going to affect on the right side. And let me do the weights on the left foot. Right, there we go. All right, so after the foot part is finished, I'm going to select the right side, and now you can tell the right side is also affecting the left side painting is also affecting the right side. I don't know, maybe it's a small glitch, but now you know how to enable the mirror the vertex groups. Also weight painting on the toes. And just make sure select the right vertex group to preview. And smoothing and painting on the right side is also affecting on the left side also too. And for the tail, I'm just going to hold down Control and remove it on the top. Like I said before, the enabling mirror vertex group is now working fine. I'll just remove the weights on the way top here and the side. On the bottom, maybe I'll leave it to right here, or I'll just leave some like weights on the on the hips. So go back to the object mode, select the armature, go back to the pose mode, and now I can preview once again. So like rotating the ears now, weight painting is working pretty well. And rolling the foot is much better than before. If the IK bone is rotated like this, make sure that the leg pull is not in the front of the leg. Make sure it's always on the back. Just move the right foot here, hold the back foot as well. And I selected the hips and just rotate just a little bit. And I'm adjusting the left side of back leg. So there you go. And the tail, it looks pretty good. And here the tongue bone is also affecting the front face. So I have to get rid of that. I'm gonna go to object mode and select the object. Go to edit mode and find the tongue vertex groups, on the vertex groups, and on the weight painting, you can see this front upper mouth is also affected by the tongue bones, the tongue vertex groups. So I'm going to do the exact same thing what I did before. Select the loop, selecting the tongues, using numpad to increase and decrease. And to deselect the head, I'm going to inverse the selection by hold down Control and press I. And I'm going to remove them. Also the same for the second tongue. So instead of clicking this all back and forth, I'm just going to press Tab to go to object mode. And I'm going to pose mode. And when I scale down the size of a tongue, the face is no longer affected by this armature bone. I'm going to move this back just a little bit. And I still need to do some adjustment for this mount. Should lock all the Y and Z axis. Just let the mount open like this and change this object to the weight paint. And I'm gonna find the jawbone, and there's a lot of weights are on this head, so I'm gonna remove it. Remove everything on the top and affects everything on the jaw. Removing some parts on the neck. Okay, there you go. Just smooth it out. I'm going to switch back to object mode and control the armatures again. So make sure the tongue is parented keep offset to the jawbone. And then when I'm adjusting the location and the scale of a tongue bone, so all the weight pinning parts are now separated. And I'm going to change it to fix some weight paint just a little. And press Control Tab to bring up the pie menu to change the 3 object to weight painting mode. I'm just gonna smooth out right here. And I'm adding a little bit of weights on the jaw parts and then smoothing out. And I'm gonna select all the vertex points and vertex points or faces on the tongue and remove it from the jaw. This removes a little, no. Okay, remove it. We'll remove this again. Just gonna smooth out. Okay, I think this one looks pretty good. Switch back to object mode and let's just preview this again. Okay, the Winston armature, the Winston looks getting better. And I'm just doing additional edits on the weight painting on the head. And I'm going to start weight painting on the neck bones. This one is for neck 1. I'm gonna use the smooth by holding down shift to just make it relax. And now I'm doing this for the second neck here. Okay, so everything looks pretty fine. So I'm gonna change back to object mode and select the armature. And I'm gonna press A to select everything and holding down Alt G to reset the movement locations and Alt R for resetting the rotations, and again the Alt S is for resetting the scale. And now I'm going to start parenting these eye objects to the armature. And before doing that, I'm going to go to modifier preference and apply the mirror modifier. And for the shortcut, I'm going to use the Control A. So object is now mirrored. And I'm going to shift select the armature and go down here, select with automatic weights. Now select the eyeball and go to vertex groups and select the eye bones for both left and right. I'm gonna unlock the both this time and then go down here and select the delete all unlocked group. And then only things we left is the eye bones, and make sure to unlock both of them and go to edit mode after selecting the eye object. And I'm going to assign the vertex group for each eyeball. Make sure inside of selecting vertices and hover over the mouse and Control L. And all the objects are now selected. On the vertex group, the left eye is not going to assign the right one. And we're going to assign the left and press L on the right eyes and remove from the eye L and assign the vertex group to IR. There you go. Now for both eyeballs are now assigned to each left and right bones. Now exit out from the edit mode and let's see how the eyeballs are parented. And when I'm moving eye controls, you can see these eyes are now tracked to this eye track bones. And let me change to the preview shader preview mode, and yeah, it looks kind of silly, but you get the idea. You can also always able to reset the eye trackers to control the eyes all together or do separately. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the dog's color. And I'm going to parent this red color onto this dog color bone right here. So once you select the color, then I'm going to shift select the armature. And this time, go to pose mode and select this dog color. And instead of automatic weights, I'm going to choose something different. So this time, I'm going to select bone. And I'm going to try to move the neck parts here. And for this one, I don't need to worry about weight painting on this object. And also I'm going to do the exact same thing for this accessory, these belts also. So select this both, shift select the armature, then apply parent to bone, and select this necklace bone, and I'm going to move just a little bit to match where the location is. There you go. To making sure the accessories are onto necklace bone. So hit Control Tab to change to object mode. Then I'm going to select this accessories, just 3 parts, and shift select armature, and inside of pose mode, once necklace bone is selected, now set parent to bone, and I start rotating. You can see the necklace accessories are now attached properly to this character. Also, the tongue is all now working fine. Moving ahead and neck. This part, I'm trying to making sure everything is working well. And you can also just move the mouth if you want to close the mouth and hide all the teeth. Okay, so everything looks good so far. So everything is set. So I'm gonna show you how to make this character blink his eyes. To make a character eyes blink, I'm not going to add any extra bones here. It didn't really work the first time I tried. So instead of bone, I'm going to use this feature called shape keys. It's located under the vertex groups. Just right now, I'm cleaning all the vertex groups that I'm not using. So on the shape key is gonna need a base mesh. So I'm gonna hit plus to make bases. This is gonna be this shape is going to be a default that Blender is gonna recognize the original. And I'm gonna press plus. Now we're gonna create a new shape key. This is called the shape key 1, and the range is between the minimum to 0 and maximum to 1. And I'm gonna change the name this to eye closed dot L, and leave this shape key to 1 for now. And this time I'm gonna use sculpting mode. And inside of sculpting mode, make sure the mirror is turned off. And I'm going to use this grab tool. I'm going to hide the armature. And I'm going to use this grab tool to grab the vertices and moving down and making the eyelid closed. And I'm going to change it to the wireframe mode so I can see how the shapes are doing. I'm going to bring the bottom eyelid. Just bring it up right here. Another one right about here. So I'm gonna I'm moving my 3D viewport to just grab the vertices and hold down shift to just smooth out. And I'm inside of edit mode, and I'm doing rest of the changing shapes manually using a vertex selection. And right now my subdivision modifier is on. And I'm gonna select this so I can just see it better. And I'm gonna turn on the optimal display so I can see the original vertices and meshes are. And this feature is already on by default, but I turned off to see how the shapes are doing. Okay, here is the closed eye shape. And once you go down to the shape key and hold down and drag, now you see the character can able to blink his eye. And I'm gonna bring out the eye just a little bit away from the eyeball. I'm gonna check this again. Now the Winston can able to blink his left eye, which is really cool. Now, instead of doing manually for the right eye, I'm going to select this button and I'm going to duplicate, and then I'm going to invert the shape to the opposite. So I'm going to select the flip, and now it's closing the right eyelid. And this is how you're creating a eye closing control for this character. And if you want to animate the eyes blinking, then right click on the shape keys and you can insert keyframes. And I'm going to bring back to the default, enable and show the armatures. Right, I'm going to exit out the sculpting mode. And lastly, this is the bonus. Blender armatures right now they display as a octahedral. And once you click this, you can change the shape to, let's say, a bone or bendy bone. You can see the armature bone shapes are changing, and just set to this wire. But I'm gonna select the stick so I can see the bones more clearly, more clear than a wireframe. And yeah, I think this is it for this video. I'm just going over all the weight paintings and make sure all the bones are working properly, and looking for any distortions on the mesh. And yeah, I think that's really about it. Just going over, looking at the tongues are working well. Just rotating the bone like this, and just scaling x-axis to fill in the mouth. The eye controls are working fine. Right now I'm in the preview mode, so I can see the eye movements are okay. Checking for the ear parts and the hips. The foot controls for both left and right. The leg pulls are working well. And I'm going to clean up some of the weight paintings in the next part of the video. And right now I'm going over all the bones again. And I'm gonna do some little simple pose for the Winston dog. Okay, I think this is it. So thank you so much for watching. In the next part, I'm going to show you guys how to add a custom shape for each bones, so you can able to control the characters without the armatures in front of the mesh.